All right, hello everybody. You know what time it is? It's time for a little Save Your Health Sunday. And today we're going to continue on with the talk about tolerance. And today this is specifically about knowledge of tolerance and actually knowledge of your specific tolerance to things and how it saves your health. Okay, so because go back, watch Freedom Friday, go back, watch Show Up Saturday, talking about tolerance there in some different respects. And today we're going to talk about, your ability to tolerate things from a health standpoint. Okay, not so much about stress, although these are stressors for your body. This is actually much more about what your body can tolerate. Okay, what am I talking about here? We're talking about nutrients. We're talking about foods. Okay, because we all have different tolerance levels of different foods. What are these normally called? Well, these are called food allergies. Okay, we all have food allergies to very specific things for each of us. Okay, some of it comes down to genetic factors. Okay, there's some things that genetically your body doesn't play well with. It won't. Period. It just will not. Okay, no matter how much you try to shove it in there, your body ain't gonna do it. All right, and this comes down to how you process things. Whether you're better at processing fats or you're better at processing carbohydrates or you're good with both, whether you can tolerate a vegan lifestyle, whether you can tolerate keto, whether you can tolerate, okay, these are all tolerances for different people. That's why there's a million different, well, technically there's about 100 different diets out there. Really, there's like 200 some odd diets out there. But there's several billion people. We all have different tolerance levels for different nutrients, okay? No two people are the same. It's close, but not everybody's the same, right? So that's why you'll see somebody try a diet and it didn't work for them. Somebody else tries a diet and it's miraculous. Or at least it's miraculous for a little bit, and then it's not. Why? Well, tolerance levels of certain things. And how do you know about these things? Well, you got to invest a little bit in finding out what your tolerance levels of certain things are. Why? It's the best thing you'll ever do for yourself in your life, period. Okay? One, you know what to put in your body. Specifically, you know exactly what to put in your body and what never to put in your body. Okay? If you know that a certain food is going to make you ill, or it's going to increase your inflammatory factors, or it's going to decrease your ability to digest stuff, or it's going to affect you mentally, because they will, okay? Then you know what not to put in your body, ever, okay? Or at least you know how much of that thing you can tolerate, which means, is it an actual allergy or is it just an intolerance, okay? An intolerance, you can have a little bit of it, okay? You can live it up a little bit with that thing, but just know, after over time, it's going to build up and it's going to be not so good for you. It's a major allergy, which means you eat it and you go into anaphylactic shock. Well, that can be a life-ending event right quick. Okay, anybody, my friends that have shellfish allergies, stuff like that, you know what I speak of, all right? And I'm going to relate this to peanut allergies. Okay, so interesting thing about the whole peanut allergy thing. This used to not be a thing. Okay, ever since we've started introducing a lot of antibiotics into our systems through food processing and manufacturing and how we raise livestock and everything else. And just the abundance of antibiotics that people go on all the time in their life, well, kids have less healthy gut flora, okay? Which has resulted in this peanut allergy thing. There's been some really cool studies around this where you start giving the kids probiotics and that peanut allergy starts going away, okay? Now, there are some that genetically are predisposed to being allergic to them, okay? And some of this actually comes down to us jacking with our own genetic code because of these things that we've been putting into ourselves and forcing into our lives, all right? And our genes have actually kind of reverted around and said, well, you know what? I don't like that, so smack. I'm going to make it to where you can't have these things, right? But really cool stuff. Research the studies on this for kids with peanut allergies because, yes, it is a thing, but it's a thing of our own making to some degree, so we can unmake that thing of our own making, right? So there are all those things. That's why there are intolerances. Peanut allergy most of the time is an intolerance because of, well, gut bacteria not being what it should be. All right, that's usually where intolerances come from. It's usually a gut bacteria thing, it's a microbiome thing, and that has to be addressed. Once it gets addressed, things turn around pretty quickly. Okay, we're talking over months months, maybe a year, maybe 2 years. All right, these things take time. Same thing with adrenal disorders, adrenal stress. If you know somebody that has major adrenal dysfunction issues, okay, well, that could be up to a 2 year process of regenerating adrenals because you're overstressing and overstressing and overstressing. Maybe you're eating stuff that's causing major inflammation in your system, and your body's always on a heightened alert system. Okay, your body's always fighting stuff that you keep on putting into your body. Right, it will cause major adrenal distress, which will end up showing up as like a thyroid thing most of the time. Right, so. I know I'm on my soapbox. I'm going sciencey on you people right now. Health engineer. Okay, this thing's always working. If you want to know what goes on, this is just like a fraction of what goes on up here, by the way. So, tolerance. Knowing your tolerance to things, okay, makes a big difference. So when you know your tolerance to things, you know your genetic tolerance to things, and you know your epigenetic tolerance to things, which is when you start doing food testing, okay, then you know what's going to work and what's not going to work. There is no questioning. There is no, ooh, there's a new miracle diet. I'm going to try it out. You already know if it's going to work or not. Seriously. You already know because you know what your coding is. Okay, think about it in computer terms. Computers have a code. Okay, they get a baseline code. All right, you have a baseline code. It's called your DNA. It's called your genetics. All right. I am going to pop something down here below. If you ever want to test your genetics, I have a test. You can take it. It's private. It's not like the 23andMe thing where they get your code. They can do whatever they want with it. They use it for testing and all kinds of stuff. Okay, unless you click the opt-out form, get that whole thing. But still, they still have it, right? This goes to the private company. You get your code. And you learn all about yourself. All right, and it's private. Nobody else sees your stuff. Nobody else has access to your DNA. All right. Privacy is a big thing with your DNA, by the way. So that same thing for food allergy testing. I'll put that down below as well after the video's over. And it's at home. Okay, it's at home. You swab yourself, send it in. They give you a full readout of what your tolerance levels are for different foods. It's awesome. So just two little things that I do because I'm a health engineer, right? Everybody's starting to talk about, oh, I do DNA. I've been doing DNA for like over technically 3 years because I've switched companies on that for the DNA testing. The food allergy testing I've been doing for 7 or 8 years. Anyway, so if you're willing to invest, it is an investment in yourself. Okay, it's not free. It is an investment. Right? Just want to put that out there. It is an investment. It's the best one you'll ever make. Period. So, learning your tolerance levels to these things is going to help you out. This way, you don't overstress your system. Okay, you know what nutrients you need. All right, you know what your tolerance levels are for things. So when you go out to eat, you know what you should eat, what you shouldn't eat. There's no question about that anymore. It takes the choice out of it to some degree. I mean, you got tons of choices within your spectrum of what you can have, but there's certain things that are just off the map. Okay, because they're not even a choice now. They're a really, really bad choice. Okay, you don't want to make bad choices. So you already cleared those off the landscape. They're not even a thought in your head. Okay. You walk into a restaurant, it's like, okay, I already know my choices for what I want to enjoy here, okay? Unless you want to go bad and go off and do something bad for yourself every once in a while, just so you can feel bad the next day and realize, okay, man, that was a really bad idea. It's kind of like having too many of these and having a coronavirus the next day. I know. I'm already doing jokes about that. Seriously, people. It's a cold virus. It's going to go away very, very soon. Anyway, don't get freaked out whenever all the numbers start coming out for people that have it. How many people have colds? How many people have had the flu this year, right? How many people are going to have allergies? Allergy season, that's a real thing. Speaking of tolerance levels, knowing what you're allergic to out here, if you're in Dallas, whatever it is, you're going to experience it at some point, okay? Because we're down in a bowl. Everything settles here. So at some point in the year, you will have allergies, all right? Seriously, you will. That's just how it is. You will have allergies if you're here. That's just what it is. If you want it to not have them as bad, I know some secrets around it. And that's why I've been essentially allergy free for like 5 years now. Um, so, um, anyway, I just want to put that out there because tolerance will save your life. It will be a health saver. It will be a lifesaver for you. It's going to make life a lot easier when you know those tolerance levels for yourself. All right. So there you go. If you enjoyed it, please share this out to everybody so they can enjoy this. They can learn about their own tolerance levels for things and help improve their health. And this way, well, you quit guessing with all that stuff. There's no guessing anymore with it. You know what is going to make you healthy, and you know what's going to make you sick. It's going to make you sick. You just stay away from it. Period. Easy. Simple. Right? You want simple? They're simple. So there you go. Take care of yourself every day. So actually do good things for yourself every day. So you can do great things for other people every day. That's why we're here. And get ready. The show's coming. The show's coming, people. It's going to be fun. That's it. Be here for Movement Monday tomorrow.